Hi everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel Fitness Fit Comedy Geek. So welcome back guys to the book review sections. Those geeks who are waiting for the book review part of mine. So here we go. Today I come with you another review of a book. You might be wondering why am I going to review all these books? No, I'm actually going to review this book. So this is Limitless by Jim Kwik. So you might have heard about. Hope it is visible to you guys. So he is a YouTuber postcarder, this book writer. So one thing to tell about this book, you will find some chapters of this book discussed. If you are a regular book reader, then you might find this some of the things are repeated from previously published book of some writers, and some things are really different in some thought, some scientific theory about how the brain works, how our brain works, and how could make our brain to limitless. So by reading this topic, you might have, by seeing this headline, you might have some idea have come into your mind that this book is all about mind, how you're going to set your mind and how to make it limitless. You can also see the brain signal there. So about this book, I would say that some part of this book are really fascinating and some part of this book are repeated, but these are essential for a completion of this book. So it will worth to read it. It's you can find it's one of the popular book. Everybody talk about this book, so I just come with the review. You made reference in his book, Jim Kwik, in about this book. So first book is Think and Grow Rich, which you can find the review in my YouTube channel itself. I've already reviewed this book. So this book is all about how to make your mind so that you could be rich, not only rich in money wise, but to intellectual level and your social behavior and everything is all about in written book. So he made this writer in this book. He have made so many reference of this book. Okay. And of course, Stephen Harkoway, the 7 book of highly productive people. Which this book review also I have given in my YouTube channel. You can check it out, guys, and I will put the link down below of these 2 books reviews. You can watch it there. Okay, he has also discussed about this this book in this some of the reference of this book and some of the part of this book. You can find these books are like a workbook. You don't, not only you have to read this book, but you have to follow this book according to the procedure it has given. Some of the process will be helpful to you guys, and because I would say that that Stephen Harkoway had some of the things, some of the exercises which he mentioned in this book, and some of the diagram also are repeated in this book some extent. He has taken reference from this book because so of course, one who will not take a reference of this guy Stephen Harkoway, who is influencing us for more than 40 years now. He is actually no more. So yeah, that is reference of this book in this book. So I would say one more thing, that if you just read all this book and after that you follow this book, then it will be easier for you. Might get disappointed that some of the things are already given in all this book, but at the same time you will find it effective in time, saving your time, because all the books have been processed and decomposed and now processed and combined into one only single book. If you read this book, no need to follow this book too, but great readers should read all this book. Okay, these are the famous books and this also. So that was the second part. Okay. And Power of Power, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This is also a readable book. You can follow this, and some of the reference you will find in this book too. And Stay With Why, of course, Simon Sinek. He have a lot of his second part of this book depend on why you do that. Why part is, and which he discussed under the motivation part of the why. So here also given the reference of the book and some of the limbic brain and some of the gut brain which have this Simon Sinek has discussed in this book. He also discovered in book. The basic difference between this book and this book is that this is all based on some more on business aspect than the social aspect. This is more on social aspect than business aspect, but scientific theory of brain remain the same in both the books. Some upcoming video I will going to review this book. Okay. So and the next book is, you all know and most of you know, guys, Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. So this is the greatest book. I will say it is too old, and it is written in 1940s, but the value which have written of the power of the subconscious mind is still applicable today's research. And Jim Kwik lot of reference made lot of reference about this book in this book. So it is great read book, you guys, you can read it. I will give review in some of the videos. Okay, and the next part is here discuss about the psychology of money. Just this book is recently written, but you could say that some of the reference you will find in this book. Okay, so I still haven't reviewed this book, but it's worth reading it. You know, some of the finance purpose book is mainly for finance purpose, but you can apply it in your real life too, in your social life too. Okay, so, and the most important, James Clear Atomic Habit. This is of course he have to discuss in this book about limitless. It's all about the habit. Okay, you will find many reference in the book about this book, and I'm still reading it. I haven't completed it. You can see the bookmark here. So that's all for all the book introduction, that the reference books that he have discussed about in this book. But now let's begin the main part of reviewing this book. Okay, so without wasting time, let's now begin reviewing this book. Okay, so in the first page you will find some of the greatest celebrities who have also read this book, have given review about this book. First review is about Will Smith. You can see that if it's visible to you, by Will Smith, and some of the also reviewed by Bradley Cooper and Greg Butler, and some of the CEO and famous CEOs also, renewed companies have also given their views of this book. Okay, you can read this. This is all about the review part, and now let me come into the content part. He had divided this book into 4 parts actually. The first part is free your mind. In this first part, he have discussed about his first of all he discussed about his earlier life, background life, his childhood's life, how he come to in the position to write this book, and this is all about the first part of this book, and some of the extension version of what he going to discuss in the further part of this book. He have also referred to this, and at the end of every chapter there is one exercise. Let me now tell you one more thing, that each part is divided into roughly 4 chapter, I guess, for 4 chapter, but it may vary. So total number of chapters is actually 15. So now after going through the first part, how was the introduction, that how his life has changed when he was childhood actually, and I will go into this in some part later. After some time I will go into this part later sometime. Let me now just give you the summary of all the chapters, all the parts including the chapters. Okay, so the second part is Limitless Mindset. It's about how we set the mindset, and it is all about the what means what is the mindset, means why what is the mindset of your to doing this, how is set your mindset, and what means so here discuss about the mindset motivation, and here I will show you the one of the intersection of 3 sets: triple M, mindset, motivation, and method. So mindset is how what are the steps to do the set up your what are the steps you should follow to change the mindset, and change the mindset to be limitless. And second part is motivation, why you want to do it, what is the motivation behind it. And third part here discuss about how you gonna do it, that is the methods. So you can get it now, that here just all the entire book depend on 3 part only: what is the mindset, and why is motivation, and how to apply those methods. Okay, so mindset, motivation, and method, triple M. Okay, so this is all about these chapters. Okay, now let me just get into the chapters and show you some of the earlier I told you about the childhood story of writer Jim Kwik. So it was one of the terrible story, I would say. He was being shy and introvert type, and he was being bullied by his fellow students and friends, and once he was pushed through stairs, and he get serious injury in his brain, and he was actually in coma for several weeks, and it was not a mild injury, so it terribly drastically affect his mind. He was unable to focus like earlier days, and he was not able to retain the things that he is reading or observing anything else. So he was devastated by this, and it highly affected his way of thinking, and how his brain work, his intellectual is all affected by this thing. But because by the inspiring from the superheroes, actually the Marvel superheroes like X-Men, here discuss about X-Men, Iron Man, everyone. He just follow those guys, that they are the superhero, they have superpowers, like something that they can control anything around them. So by visualizing the supervising, he is able to start to make his brain again come into the original state. So he was really depressed sometimes. So it started that he started thinking that it is very he will unable to do anything. He was almost about to quit school. Then a moment come which really change the way he thinks, and from quitting he get inspired and try more hard and work more hard, make his brain as efficient as he was earlier before the injury. So he was just he become limitless by he was about to become limitless by this turning event. That event was like that. One of the friend he told about everything to his friend, and his friend suggested him to at least visit his family before thinking to do anything and take any resting measure. So he did that. He just came into his this friend's house, and in the evening, when about after dinner, he met his friend's dad. So his friend's dad take him to his library and show him so many books there, which include this book also. So which I have discussed, the power of subconscious mind was there, and this part think and grow rich. This book were there. So he asks about, can you do that? Can you be able to complete this book, all the books? Earlier shocked that he was unable to read the school. How he gonna complete this book? But he told about this, that this book will change your world. You will become something else by reading these books. So he was shocked, and at the same time he was taking it as a challenge, and he was so much fascinated about the comics books. He was already reading about the comics book of superheroes. That from that idea he was so much fascinated. So he think that let's give it a try. So he start to working very hard, and day by day, burning night oil, and was able to complete this book. After this completion of his book, he just gained his motivation, inspiration to do more. And because of this change of the habit, which he have discussed about, which he have referred to by this book, Atomic Habit, the power of habit, means atomic habit, what small habit can make a drastic change in your life. So that was a cave up him. You can see him, brain damage. He was also known as a man with a broken brain. He was being bullied as man with a broken brain. So that was this part I was talking about. Superset of intersection of three set. That is, first one is mindset. Then here come the motivation, and here come the methods. And intersection of this step, you can see the intersection part is what make you limitless. Hope it is visible to you guys. Intersection, this is the way he discovering how to become a limitless. So you have to follow this step only. Why? And these are actually as same as Simon Sinek had discussed in this book. Start with why, what, why, and how. These are the three steps which have combined this into mindset, motivation, and methods respectively. So if you start to reading, you will really find this fascinating way. How much enthusiasm he has written this book. You will find fascinated. You will lost in something there, because it's discussed. Firstly, he discussed about his real life tragic story, and then he come into the scientific part. How you can apply this thing. These are not a magic trick. Just you have to work in that manner, knowing the scientific part, and you will become limitless. Definitely. Believe me, I have applied this thing to in my life too. I was able to complete 100 weeks till now because of this mindset. But here's you might be asked that I just recently completed the books, but some of the method I already know from my earlier reading, or somewhat I read it about it. So how the mind work actually. So okay, so he have discussed it all in here. So no need to read all this book. If you can able to read this book and want to achieve your goal, you want to become a limitless, okay, give it a try. I will really recommend this book. So let me just give you the brief some of the introduction about heroes and villain here talk about. And most important thing is talk about the second brain, that's we all known as guts brain. We all say that, oh my god, gut said this. So this is actually part of your brain. The small intestine, the muscles and tissue that are found in small intestine are same tissue, and the muscles are found in brain too. Because when you are a womb, when we all are womb, human body, the brain of human is connected to a child gut. So when actually it is like something like this in a fetus state. So when it's grow, it's just the gut's brain, assume this is gut brain, being separated from their brain. So this is the gut is also part of the brain. So research has shown that this guts also have the ability to cognitive skill. Some objects, very rare skill, but sometimes you can feel that your gut saying something else and brain saying something. That's the guts brain working there. So you must unleash the power of guts brain, which doctor have discussed by many methods. Okay, you can, when you read it, you will find it. And then in fourth is one of the important chapter. Fourth chapter is how to remember everything you read. How to read and remember everything. Some of you might be thinking that if you read this book, how are we gonna retain these things? So we have discussed about so many methods, which are practical method and research oriented method to deal with that, to how to retain for more time. You know, it's not a magic trick. I am telling you one more time that it's not like superpower, but you can imagine it's not like any superpower, but you can imagine like some superhero have some superpower, and this superpower is the methods that you applied to do that. So one method I would say that more retention in just read the book, which author has also discussed in this book, in this chapter. Let's just read it and picture it in some scenario like this, some idiotic memories, something it's called the pictographical memory. Or so just remember everything in picture. Some of you might done that. Try to set your own story to that thing what you have learned. You can by applying this thing, you will able to return for more days, for more time. I have also doing from my childhood, but after reading this book, I was convinced that yeah, this matter actually exists in this world. I thought that as a kid, I thought that this I only this apply this thing, but this is research oriented based things which your author discuss about it. Okay, so it's really practical approach. Why I'm saying it? Because most of the thing that an author have written this book, I have done many of these things in my childhood, and it actually works. So this is the real methods, practical method that he have discussed here. Okay, author have discussed so much beautiful by showing you the exact research work, telling you some stories, and at the end he has given you some quick exercise also that you can apply these exercises to as I already tell you, this is working good. Along with reading, you have to apply this thing in your life. You have to do the exercises at the end. This exercise will be very helpful to you guys, I'm really telling you. So this is about this book. So you can see that some of the exercises are given in highlighted page. So these are the exercises you can while reading this, you can apply this thing. Very interesting way to you will find that he's come in is just in front of you and talk to you. Some of the guys you told that why to read book, then some of the people think that why to read book, they are just the theoretical part, and everybody has his own mindset. But one thing for sure, yeah, it might be the case, but one thing for sure, you will learn from their life experience, and experience is everything for a human being. As human learn on the basis of experience. All the brain of human is also based on experience, long-term memory, that he just experienced something, and our brain work like that way. If we have experienced something, it will return in your brain, return for long time. Why? This is the way human learn. It's learned from the process of learning. If you, so for example, if you just cross the road, you will always have a habit of looking left or right, or depending on the lane you are crossing. But when you are a child, your parent might have taught you that you should look every time when you cross the road. So you learn from this thing, you have experience from this, and you store it in your brain, and this help you to make judgmental, that help you to protect from accident, which you can apply for your entire life actually. Also in this book you will find some of the acronyms: fat, mind, mom, and some acronyms which the author have used to just provide you the methods in a very simpler manner. 9% can able to apply it. This is the beauty of this book. And you will find some of the quotes also of famous person written alongside with some of the pages, which will help you to keep the motivation. This is the great way to learn anything. I would say the here written is very fascinated when the exercises, the quotes, all things are in quite impressive. I would say you can read this book, guys. So now I have come to the part 2 that I've already told you about the mindset. So which here the author have discussed about the mindset, how you're gonna do it, how you actually able to do it, and what are the steps involved to do set the mindset. You will find it very interesting actually. So I guess better leave it to you guys for it is just about review of this book. I'm not going to discuss with you all the entire book in one video. It will be very tedious and you will not be feasible. So you guys just read this book. Okay, it's very effective book, I'm telling you. I'm really recommended to you. Not like book is thing, it is actual reality based, on physical example based books. He have also discussed about some of the guys he have called in his podcast and talk about them. You can watch his podcast on YouTube. Just search Jim Kwik podcast, you will find it there. So very influencing person, I would say he is. So there they have also discovered speed reading, memory, how to focus, everything. And at the end you will find that 10 days quick start plan. He have given you all the steps you can do for 10 days and see the changes in your life. So in some part of this book you also discuss about food which you should eat to keep your brain, to let your brain work at utmost efficiency. So these are the part. So just given the 10 days challenge, you can just go through the challenge, go through this, you can go through this challenge and apply, you can apply in your life. So this is all about this book. And at the end he have discussed about some of the advertisement about his upcoming books. So that was the end of this book. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys have found this video informative and effective. So I will come with more videos on famous books that are very self-help book, actually, more or less, that really will change your life. It's not a hard and fast rule. You just have to follow this process, some of the practical books, some of the process of this book. All the parts of a one book may not be effective to you, but if you read this type of book, so many books, then you can design and you can sort all the things that will be effective and most relatable to your life, and you can apply it. I'm not saying that just read one book and just apply everything. No, you can read tons of books, not tons of books, just I will say top 100 books, just read all those. It's not like, now you might be thinking that some of you might have the myth that you are not using 100% of your brain, but you are actually using 100% of it. It's just a myth that you are just using 10% of brain. Just, it's not like that. If you aren't able to use 100% of it, then you will unable to see the speech and hear anything. So that was I want to say it, guys, that everything, it's not like you can increase your intelligence and the way of thinking, the broadness of thinking, how we see the world, going through all this book. They have written, it's not like that imagine something, they created fiction in a mind and written it. No, they've taken the practical examples which are really helpful for the peoples and really affect their life. So you can apply these too by reading these books. So that was all for today. So hope you guys like this video. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Take care, guys.